Hi, welcome to the channel, or should I say welcome to my man cave, or my entombed car graveyard, because I've got quite a few things in here. This one in here, as you can tell, isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I'm not going to give it away what it is because it will be coming up in the future, but for the moment I can't do anything with it because my workshop roof is slowly falling down. Therefore the car can't move anywhere. But today it's not that car we're going to look at. We're going to look at one of my other projects, which is right next to me here. This project I bought over 10 years ago. In fact, I think it was 11, and I've done nothing to it in about 7 years. So today we're going to unwrap it and take a look. Okay, before I move the cover, I'm just going to give you a few sneaky little clips. I'm sure you can work out what kind of car this is. There's the first one, and now we shall move to the back and give you a sneaky peek of that one. Here we go, the rear. Okay, right, let's get this cover off to reveal what we've got. There we go. God, look at that. Look at the colour, completely caked in dust. That's thick. As you can tell, I haven't done anything to it in a long time. Okay, there it is in all its dusty glory. It's a 1995 Mark III Vauxhall Cavalier saloon. As you can tell from the adhesive left over from the badge removal, this was originally a V6, so therefore had the C25XE 2.5 V6. However, it doesn't have that engine currently. As I've already said, I bought this over 10 years ago. It cost me a mighty £500 off eBay, and it came with an MOT and it was running. I had big plans for this. I was originally going to do a full turbo replica with it with a C20 LET engine, but obviously those are like rocking horse shit nowadays. In the 10 years I've owned it, I've not done a great deal to it, other than put a different engine in it. I've gone and put the Cavalier Turbo, genuine rear lights on there, and rear panel, which I rattle canned white. As you can tell from the bodywork, this thing is absolutely pristine. I know it's very dirty and dusty, but look at the rear valance. There's not a speck of rust on it. And the same for the rest of the car. It has obviously been stored inside most of its life. There was a little dodgy repair that someone tried to do here, but obviously we can get that sorted at some point. But if we take a closer look down the side, look at the wheel arches. These things, for a 95, there's a little bit of rust there because obviously it's been undercover. But look at that. You don't find a Cavalier with arches like that anymore. It's currently sitting on a set of Saab 93 wheels because the ones on there were just standard V6 ones. You can tell from the state of this that I haven't done anything on it in years because look at the thick layer of dust. In fact, you scrub that off, you can see the headlights in storage inside. Look at the state of that. That's shocking. I really need to get this thing done. Right, moving on down the side, as you can tell, it's still filthy everywhere. Look at the state of the windows. Not quite a barn find, but it's as dirty as one. Okay, moving on down this side, there's a little bit of a scuff on this wheel arch. Nothing major, but again, look at that arch, solid. Same with the sills, no rust on them whatsoever. Very, very solid. Okay, moving on to the front. You can see that it no longer has the V6, as we've already said. Got good money for that. I think I got £500 for it. So the car actually owes me nothing. Sitting in it currently is a Saab Turbo, a hot version out of I think it was a 2000 reg, Saab 93. It had 72,000 miles on the engine and was very strong. I drove it back from Exeter myself. This has been in here for 7 years. It's all been bolted up, just not been plumbed in. Okay, if I can recall 10 years ago, we weren't that far away from getting this thing fired up anyway. I need to get the ECU plugged in with the adapter loom inside, but all the loom's been been routed through. I know I need to get a new coolant system sorted for it, power steering pipes, all the gear linkages finished, that's good, so we're ready to go on that side. Then it's just fitting, obviously, the intercooler, all the pipe work for that. And the fuel system. The fuel system for the Cavalier was completely taken out, and I've opted for a complete Saab 93 system because it's just easier. All the fuel lines will match up, all the hoses will be fine, all the connectors will be fine. Why did I buy this? Well, I've always loved Vauxhalls. I've had Astras for as long as I can remember. And I hadn't had a Cavalier, and this one came up for sale. Hang on, let's look inside. Oh, come on. Oh, blimey. That is sea solid. There we go. Whoa, you tell I haven't opened that for a while. Look at the cobwebs. Hello, Mr. Spider. You enjoying your new home? Or my home? Right, the reason I bought it, I don't know if you can pick this up on camera, 48,000 miles. Genuine as well. You don't find a Cavalier with that low mileage, especially a saloon. Hatchbacks, yes, they're quite common. However, saloons are a lot harder to come by. Also, I've converted this from auto to manual using all the Saab items, including the gear stick. This needed a bit of modification because obviously the ignition switch on the Saab 9.3 is located here. So you have to modify the box a little bit, but then it'll fit into the Astra. I always say Astra. Then it'll fit into the Cavalier because they essentially are the same chassis underneath and the same subframes. Right, let's move on to the back and have a look inside. Oh, it's a bit easier to open, that one. Not as many cobwebs in here. Right, a few spares, including the handbook. We've got opal grille, all the headrests, some black sun visors that came out of the Saab, and the headlights. But again, absolutely pristine interior. We're just going to go for a nice sympathetic restoration on this. Turbo replica, but obviously with the Saab running gear. Probably get rid of the Saab wheels. I've got a set of Phase 1 Vectra GSIs to go on it, which will look quite nice. I've got a full turbo body kit stored away somewhere. I can't remember where, but it's somewhere in the workshop. We've got the front bumper, the rear, all the side skirts and the door trims. Plus we've got a set of Vectra door handles, a nice colour coded that, so we keep everything nice and white. And we've got a turbo spoiler, again, somewhere. Right, so what are my plans with this? Well, we're not going to go for anything too mad. The engine's good for about 200 brake anyway, being the hot version. And then we'll probably upgrade the engine, or at least the turbo, to push something like 300, 350. We don't want any more than that because obviously it's front wheel drive and we'll just end up spinning up in every gear. Oh wow, that brings back memories. Doesn't feel like 10 years ago I sat in this car. Wow, got to get this back on the road. Complete with electric sunroof as well. I can't remember whether I installed that or not. I know it was an optional extra that you could take out of, I think it was it a Vectra? No, it was an Omega, I think. I cannot for the life of me remember where most of the cables went because, again, it is 10 years ago. I have bought a few Saab 9.3s in the past to use purely as reference points so I could see where the wiring's gone, but I never got around to it and they got scrapped. So the first task is probably going to be to source another Saab 9.3 cheap to use as a reference point and to steal any parts off that I may need to complete this conversion. Hopefully in the next episode of this we'll actually do some work on it and get this thing one step closer to getting up and running and back on the road. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video.